guys on Adam DiBartolomeo here on the sideline and just kind of ran him out of bounds. And the guy that returned the punt, I don't remember who it was right at this point, but did a nice job of reading his blocks.
Here's motion now, number 2, Mike Longo. Hand off to big number 40. Kurt Wilson seeing his first action. He got it to the 46. LaPiccolo on the stop, gain of about 3. Well, it remains to be seen as to whether or not we'll see Carl Rushke again in this ball game. He went out with an injury earlier on, seemed to be carrying the bulk of the load for the Utica running game. Leach sends number 86 in motion. Robert Shikoski, handoff. Once again, gains about 3 yards in a cloud of dust, so to speak, and it'll bring up second down and about 4. Wilson carried again. And Utica comes out on this possession, grounding it out. Now we'll call it actually 3rd and 5 here from the Dakota 44. 1 minute to play in the first quarter with the Cougars leading at 7-0. Another big 3rd down here for Leach and his offensive crew. Sends Schneeman in motion. Takes a snap. Looks to swing it out. It's complete there to number 18, but he will go nowhere. Brian Maruli didn't pick up much on that one as the Cougars had that one diagnosed.
Yeah, it was well covered by the Cougars. I think what they tried to do was pump fake that little quick pass out to the flat to see if Harold would bite on that and come up, because they sent the man in motion deep, but Harold stayed with his man, because after the pump fake, he looked deep. Leach looked deep, and Harrington was all over the deep man, so he had to go back to the flats, and we had it well covered.
You don't even know what it is. You're doing their homework.
The Utica offense all consulting their cheat sheets here as they come to the line. That'll end the quarter. Well, we know Todd sometimes will take a little cheat sheet out there with him with some of the plays on. We saw about 3 guys coming out of the huddle looking at some kind of pieces of paper as to what kind of play they were going to run. It ends the quarter, give Coach McElrath a little time to think about going for this 4th down once again in the midfield zone.
Yeah, I think the coaches knew the quarter was running down, and they were in a real hurry to get the play off. They knew they were going to have, what essentially is a timeout. Another big decision, I guess. It's not 4th and 1, so again, my humble opinion would be punt them deep, and try to get a corner kick. But, it's very possible that they'll go for it again and try to get some momentum going.
Well, Utica facing a huge crowd here, playing in a hostile environment. Perhaps looking to steal some momentum early on in this ball game. They face a 4th and 5 from the Cougar 44. As we prepare to get the second quarter underway, Utica breaks the huddle. And they hustle back onto the field. As Leach strolls to the line. Offensive formation here, 4 wideouts. Wilson now in motion. Out wide, he's going to be wide open. Here's the throw underneath, broken up there. Great play. Great play by LaPiccolo in the secondary to break up that pass. And the Cougars once again will take over with great field position at their own 44. Pass was intended there for Longo, but Mateo LaPiccolo got an arm in there and busted it up. Cougars take over again now, 56 yards from pay dirt. Hand off now to Sasson. Stumbles, falls outside the 45 to about the 48.
Hey, break.
Second down and 8 now for the Cougars.
Number 75 out there, man. 360 pounds. Oh, no, not out.
Second down and 8 now. Offset eye for the Cougars. Quick handoff underneath to Parslow. Spins. Gets into Utica territory down to the 48. It'll set up third and short.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what. I know Coach G loves that 60-yard field. You know, everyone teased us about the old 80-yard field over at Dakota. So, you know what? I think he likes playing on the 60-yard field right now. I mean, teams are willing to do that to us. You know, maybe a few years ago. But, you know, we've, like you said before, Ken, we just got too much offensive power where, you know, the short field is, you know, hey, it's good for us. It's not like it was a few years back.
Well, third down now. Utica jumped.
There's a flag on the play.
There was movement up front. We'll wait for the official call. I've learned not to assume what these penalties are because usually I'm wrong. Offsides against Utica. That'll move the chains for the Cougars. First down now at the Chieftain 43.
Well, you know, tonight's a big night for both our schools here at Chippewa Valley, you know, School District, Dakota and Chippewa Valley. Both, if we're able to win tonight, we're both going to be in the playoffs. So we're hoping that we both come out of this 6-0, and, you know, then everything else will take care of itself. We can both be in the playoffs after tonight.
Pump fake by Wojciechowski. Now he'll scramble to the right and throw it away. Incomplete. Coach G looked like he wanted in on that play on the sidelines, but a smart decision there by Todd. Obviously going for some kind of double move, long type pass. It wasn't there. He threw it out of bounds. Start over, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, good decision. You like to see that. You know, again, Todd's a very smart player. He always has been in really anything that he's tried over there as far as baseball, basketball, or football. Good decision there to just dump it out, take your loss, and let's go on 2nd down.
Play fake to Sasson. Now they'll throw the screen to him. Almost a great catch there. But it'll bring up 3rd and 10 now from the Utica 43. Can't quite seem to get the timing on those screen plays early on in the ball game.
Yeah, just a little bit off. You know, I don't know how far that one would have went. You know, I don't know if we're waiting too long, if it's taking too long to develop. I mean, they had a good rush on us, which is supposed to happen in the screen, but it looked like they had it covered too. So this is a key play for us. Again, we don't have to get 10 yards. If we can get, you know, 7 or 8, I think we go for it. If we don't get anything, I think we punt.
Well, we'll see what develops here on 3rd down and 10 from the Utica 43. Utica showing blitz perhaps? No. Wojciechowski, straight drop. Throws underneath. Dan Brett, complete. Inside the 30, down to the 26. Dan Brett, who made a couple of big catches, had 3 grabs for 43 yards last week against Grosse Pointe South and some critical catches. Makes another one there on 3rd and long to move the chains.
I'll tell you, it's great to see Dan having some success out here his senior year. You know, I think it's great to see him be a vital part of the offensive unit. Todd hung in there nice and threw a nice rope over there to him. He concentrated, he knew he was going to get hit, and that's a huge first down.
1st and 10 now from the Utica 27, we'll call it. Hand off to Sasson up the middle. Breaks a tackle, gets inside the 25 to about the 22. Good positive pickup there on 1st down. And right now, Paul looks like he's running virtually pain-free. He looks like the old Paul Sasson that we knew before the injury.
Yeah, he is. You know, I think it was Thursday. He was in class 1st hour, and we look, and all of a sudden he's out there playing basketball. And Coach G and I, you know, we kind of looked at each other and said, "What the heck are you doing? You got one more day. Why don't you just wait until Monday, and then you can get back to playing in gym class?" You know, but he was anxious to get back, and it looks like he's on his way to being fully recovered.
They'll run some option here. Wojciechowski's got running room. 15. Cuts outside. 10. 5. Touchdown, Dakota Cougars. Boy, a crafty bit of running there by Todd Wojciechowski to get in from 27 yards out and another Dakota score. Excuse me, 22 yards out and another Dakota score.
Yeah, great play. You know, really, they faked the handoff, but it was pretty much Todd's ball all the way. We really weren't going to go too much option after he faked that handoff. As he turns the corner, Anderson's out there, and really, I mean, he didn't really block anybody, but he's out there kind of just getting in the way, and Todd did a nice job of setting his man up. So the defensive man went inside, he cuts it back outside, and you know, and Anderson just got in the way. So nice run there by Todd.
Low snap on the extra point, handled by Thole. The kick by Henderson is good. And it's 14-0 Dakota with 9:05 to go in the first half. Boy, and Todd, we talk about the running game, and Paul and Tim Parslow, and you can't ignore Todd Wojciechowski as a running threat either, as he just showed on that scoring play.
Again, you know, and I think that Todd's played a lot of ball. He has a lot of varsity experience just at Dakota, and you know, right there again, if he just runs straight, he probably gets tackled, but he did a nice job of setting the man up and being able to read the defense. And yeah, you can't say enough for the seniors we have on our team right now. There's nothing better than seniors on your squad. And, you know, and I think we're really reaping the benefits there. You know, Coach has a lot of seniors, both offensively and defensively, and, you know, it's just really great to see these kids having some success after all the hard work. You know, you're talking 2 years ago, these kids, 3 years ago, they were an undefeated JV team. Last year they had good success on the varsity level, and now they're back being top dogs as they were as JV. And, you know, it's just, again, great for the seniors. But we also have some young kids out there, Cook, Fettner, Heinz. All those kids are getting some great experience along with them, and they're going to be the leaders next year.
Here's the kick by Henderson, high and somewhat short. Bungert has a seam, 30, 35, 40, over the 50, and dragged down at the 46-yard line by the kicker Henderson. So another big return there by